This Tuesday,
I will reveal myself.
What up, y'all? This your boy Ace here, and welcome to Afternoon's Delight. So let's go over this, man. Probably when most of you are watching this video, they may have already revealed who it was because I didn't have time to get it in. I'm like, this is about recording this right about an hour and a half before NXT actually comes on. So I know this won't be up in time, but I still wanted to make the video anyways because I think it's still good to listen to, even if you already know who it is at this point. I think it's just still good to listen to all the possibilities because I am going to go into some stuff that might end up being revealed later, because I don't think everything's being revealed tonight. I think it's going to be, with this mystery attacker, I think it's only going to be maybe one of the henchmen or something like that. It could be the mastermind too that gets revealed tonight. So I do think there's more people involved, and I'm not even sure if we're finding out the full reason tonight, but whatever it is, we are going to find out. So let's get into this, man. I just wanted to do a video like updated suspect list. So on my channel, man, first things first, on my channel, I did a poll last night. It's already got a pretty good turnout, almost 600 votes in here. And basically I just asked you guys, and these were options based on what I've been hearing online for the most part the last few weeks, or basically since Sol Ruka got attacked, I've been hearing these names like frequently. And so these are more like the online choices, not specifically my choices, but this, you know, that's how it turned out. But like Blair Davenport is leading right now, 55%. Seems like she's a safe bet because a lot of people believe that she will make her NXT North American debut tonight and be the one that was attacking people. So I think a lot of people believe that it will be Blair Davenport. That's like the most popular option right now. I'll go over what I think about it. Mandy Rose is number 2. I think Mandy Rose, what I struggle with Mandy Rose at is, I don't even know if she's even going back to wrestling anytime soon. But I do think she's still an option because you don't know. I mean, we you know, we don't know for sure if she's coming back or not. If she worked out something with WWE to come back. Some people feel like she will go back to the main roster instead of NXT, but let's just say if she's got unfinished business in NXT, because what's weird about the Mandy Rose situation is that we have Gigi Dolan and JC Jane in a huge match in a steel cage. It might be the main event, steel cage weaponized match, so it'll be weapons involved as well. And it's supposed to end their feud, you know, at least for now. You know, I don't think it'll ever be over, but it's supposed to end their feud, and they're probably going to go on to other opponents after this week. They could set it up if it's the main event where Mandy Rose actually comes out at the end. That'd be just like that would be phenomenal. If Mandy Rose was the attacker, or she was the mastermind behind it, I'm telling you right now, the internet will go, but she will break the internet, bro. Because I saw how big, like, there were major news outlets covering Mandy Rose's firing. Like, it was a big deal at the time, man, back in December. It was media outlets covering it that don't even usually cover wrestling, let alone NXT. Like, her firing was so big at the time. It was so big, bro. If she came back, oh my God, people will lose their shit, bro. I mean, it will be epic. Epic, bro. So, I mean, no offense to Blair Davenport, but her debut cannot match Mandy Rose's return, bro. It just can't. But we'll see what happens with that. Now, Cora Jade has been, since January, probably the most popular option. I feel like she's lost steam. And it is showing in the poll right now because at one point, Tatum Paxley was actually ahead of her. Tatum Paxley was actually ahead of Cora Jade in my poll. The last time I saw it earlier this morning. Cora Jade seems to have lost a lot of steam maybe because a lot of people think it's too obvious. I think that's the reason why people have fallen back on Cora Jade, is that they feel like it's just too obvious. You know, but just because it's too obvious doesn't mean she can't be the suspect, because sometimes the suspects are the most obvious people. But it seemed like Cora Jade, especially the first attack, seemed like a super red herring. You know what I mean? On that Nikita Lyons one, because it was pretty obvious that it might have been her, right? And I'll never forget with Cora Jade, in that interview with Mackenzie Mitchell. It was the last time we saw Cora Jade before, like, she had got an injury or something like that. And we hadn't seen her again until April. Like, after that episode, she literally disappeared. She was supposed to have a match against Lyra Valkyria the following week. And she was talking about Lyra Valkyria with Mackenzie Mitchell, because that's kind of when the feud started. But I'll never forget, before she started talking to Mackenzie Mitchell, she was looking at her stick that she always uses. And she was like admiring it like she had just used it on somebody. Like, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And then, next thing you know, Mackenzie Mitchell gets, you know, while Cora's talking, Cora Jade's talking, Mackenzie gets, something in her ear that somebody got attacked in the parking lot. And it's just weird how that whole situation went. And then we got Tatum Paxley, who's in last place. Tatum Paxley, to me, is a super suspect. All right, super suspect. In my opinion, this is something I can't get over with Tatum Paxley, with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire really kind of poking at her that she was the one that attacked Nikita Lyons in the parking lot. She was in the parking lot at the time as well. They spotted her in the background. And also, Isla Dawn knew she was going to turn on Ivy now. Like, she knew it. Like, she knew she was going to turn on her, and she did. She did turn on her. It didn't take much time, but Tatum Paxley turned on Ivy now, which was crazy. I think it took like maybe a few weeks later, and she turned on Ivy now, man. And so that was crazy within itself. So she's a heel. Easily could be one of the people that did these attacks. And I remember one of y'all was saying this. I think John Drake or somebody was saying this, that if you notice the cakes on the girls, that the girl from last week had a bit of a cake, right? We're talking about her ass. For those of y'all that don't know what a cake is, I'm talking about her ass. And I noticed, Tatum Paxley got one of the best asses in NXT. So I'm like, yeah, man, I think I think it like, it kind of looked like her. You know what I'm saying? It's same skin complexion on the girl. Because we know whoever it was, like I said, from last week's attack on Roxanne Perez, we know this was somebody white. And that gets me to some people saying, Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, because they just started this new faction, right? With Noam Dar, right? And I don't know, Aura Menza also came out. So it looks like it's like a four man faction with 2 men, 2 girls, with being Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. Some people think that they were a part of the Sol Ruka attack, which I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't write them off as suspects, but for me with that one, I just don't see it. I think that's like a whole different thing. But I don't see it. I really don't. I don't see them. I don't see Elektra Lopez either. She's been with Lola Vice lately. I really don't see Elektra Lopez being a part of this. Don't seem like her style. I highly doubt it's her. One of the other suspects is Stevie Turner. Now, a lot of you guys probably didn't know Danny Palmer was one of the victims. She got attacked not too long after Sol Ruka. This happened on a house show, though. This is why a lot of people didn't know about it, because it happened one of their weekend house shows back in mid-May. It was May the 13th, by the way, when it happened. And she had got attacked. So far there's 5 people, 4 people on television, and then 5 people in total. So we had Nikita Lyons on January 24th, Wendy Chu on February 28th, Sol Ruka on April the 25th, Danny Palmer on May the 13th, and then Roxanne Perez this last week on May the 23rd. So we've had 5 attacks so far. And the whole thing is, just like a lot of you guys, I think there's more than one person involved because I think it's setting up a heel stable. I definitely don't think, there's no way that this is the work of one person. It's no way. The one thing, what it could be the work of one person is that we know that this person is very, very fast. Because the way they were running, we know that this person is very, very fast on their feet. Like, super fast. Because this person, like, I remember last week with Lyra Valkyria, when she was trying to get to her, this mug ran hard, ran so fast, bro. So, we know it's somebody with some speed. I mean, Blair Davenport, I don't picture Blair Davenport as someone with, like, hella speed, bro. And that's what's getting me, like, choked up on this, is that I don't know. Now, I think Stevie Turner might have some speed. So, it could be her. You know. And the message that they showed at Battleground, when they confirmed that the mystery attacker is going to be revealed tonight, it seemed like it was more Stevie Turner's style with the whole glitches and stuff like that, like the whole streamer thing that she does. I don't know if she still got the same gimmick, by the way, because she did fight Danny Palmer the same night. Danny Palmer got attacked after the match. So that was weird too. So Stevie Turner's definitely up there, but I mean that'd be a huge surprise if it's Stevie Turner, man. Because I don't think a lot of people saw that one coming, but there were a lot of people that mentioned her name though, especially recently. So another one. Now, I did want to answer John Drake's questions. Let me pull these up. Because John Drake actually, well, it was a question, but it was kind of like a points bulletin that he did in one of my videos. And I appreciate you, John Drake, for doing that for everybody. So I think it was a good talking point in that one. So I'm going to pull it up right now. And I'm going to go over all 7. Because I said I wanted to do it for my video. And it'll make sure that some of the stuff that I make sure I'm not that I'm not missing anything. So let me pull this up. You guys had some great thoughts about it. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. All right. So he put up 7 points in here, and I wanted to go over all of these in the video. This is one of the main reasons why I wanted to make the video before the reveal is released, because I thought these were some great points here. So the first one that he made, and this is one of the ones that I'm really, really intrigued by. He said Wendy Chu could possibly be involved due to her not having acknowledged her being attacked, which to this day I find very odd. And I find it very odd too. I mentioned her in my video for a reason, because I wanted people to kind of remember that Wendy Chu came back and never acknowledged it, which was weird to me. Like, how do you come back and not want your get back off that mystery attacker? Like, that's weird to me. Like, how you gonna act like you didn't get attacked? You know what I mean? Like, how is that even possible? We saw Wendy Chu wrestle a couple of times on NXT Level Up. She's been with what's her name? The new girl from Chase U. What's her name? Kalani James, I think her name is. I think that's her name. She's been on Level Up with she's one week she faced her, and I think another week she was like in a tag team with her. But and then we also saw Wendy Chu in the background. This is an interesting one that I don't know if you guys saw this. So when Thea Hale got into a little argument with Kiana James, I don't know if you guys remember that segment, but Wendy Chu was in the background, and guess who was next to her? Tatum Paxley. That was weird right there. I was like, you know what? I got to keep an eye on it. I'm not going too deep into it, but I definitely thought that was something to definitely keep our eyes on, because the fact that, I mean, it might not mean nothing that they were sitting next to each other. You know what I mean? It might have just been random, you know. But the fact that they were sitting next to each other is definitely interesting, because who knows, they might be working together, man. Wendy Choo might have faked her attack. Now, Wendy Choo was out a while, so maybe she's legitimately a victim and not a suspect, you know. But I'm definitely got her as a suspect just because she never acknowledged it. If she had acknowledged it, I would have took her off my suspect list. Number 2, this attacker here is not Stevie Turner. I don't think it's her profile, but she could be involved too. Where I disagree with this one at is that on the like I said, on the Battleground promo that they played, maybe before I saw this Battleground promo, I would have agreed. But it was like very cryptic like, and that was kind of like Stevie Turner's, like her old vignettes were like her vignettes before she made her debut in January. They were like very cryptic, like streamer stuff, very online-ish, where it's like that whole glitch thing going on, cryptic stuff. And it felt like that could be up her alley. But I think Stevie Turner's a long shot. But the interesting thing about Stevie Turner is that she did return recently, so maybe she's coming back. But I don't know if she has the same gimmick. That's the other thing I got a question about. She did face Danny Palmer, which was interesting that night. So I definitely put her on the suspect list. I will leave her there for now. I don't think it's her though, but she's very interesting. Let's go to the third one. I have read other threads where people are saying that the attacker might be Blair Davenport, and everyone's thinking it's her because the whole attacking business first got started. Don't know where they got this from. That is Blair, but I won't rule her out as a possible suspect either. And this is where I don't really get where, because not just recently, but when the attacks was first starting to happen, like the first two, I don't get where Blair Davenport, why people even had Blair Davenport in their heads like that. Because it wasn't like she was coming to NXT anytime soon, coming back in the North American version. I didn't get where people got that from. I don't know if people were just hoping it was her because she's been a heel. But where I really tied her in at was more with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. But since they went to the main roster, I kind of gave up on Blair Davenport being an option, because I was like, maybe, because at first I thought Isla Dawn and Alba Fire was doing the attacks, and they were trying to put the blame on Tatum Paxley. Maybe they had Blair Davenport actively doing the attacks, and they were trying to, put Tatum Paxley in the blame game. But where I really found the strength of the whole Tatum Paxley thing was that Tatum Paxley ended up turning heel. So it was something, like I said, it was something that Isla Dawn saw, and she just went for it and just kept blaming Tatum Paxley. And that's why I stuck with Tatum Paxley for so long as a possible suspect. So I don't know. I wouldn't rule out Blair. I think Blair's the most safest pick. I think there's probably about a 60% chance it's her tonight. But I don't know, man. Like, I think that could be the one where I think people were kind of thinking too much, right? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know if it's just one person had said it and everybody just hopped on the bandwagon that it might be Blair Davenport. I don't know what happened with that. I really don't know. So the fourth one was, he was saying the attacker is taller. I actually went over this earlier. Plus, she got a good tone and thickness here. This is where he was talking about the cakes. She got some booty too. Other threads suggested that based on this, it could be Mandy Rose, who's also got cake. Yeah, she definitely got cake. Definitely fits her profile, so it could be her. Could be Tatum Paxley. We know she got the same profile. And he said he don't think it's Cora Jade, but I won't rule her out involvement-wise. So we already went over like Tatum and Mandy's body size fitting the most recent attack with the Roxanne Perez attack. So what's crazy is I definitely think Mandy and Cora Jade are perfect because they could definitely be masterminds of this. So I definitely kind of see them in the picture. I think with Cora Jade, man, she's still in there Because I swear to God, during Sol Ruka's attack, I saw either Cora Jade's boots or Roxanne Perez's boots. I'm going to get back to that because the last point that John Drake made was about Roxanne Perez. So I'm going to talk about it then. Let's go to number 5. Definitely not JC. This is the main heel that I rule out right now is JC Jane. It is because of her obsession with Gigi and her family. She is so distracted with that. I don't think JC has been going around attacking people. Why? You know, at the time, too, when the first attack took place, she was still with Gigi Dolan. She had turned on her just yet. I think that happened like maybe 2 weeks later after that. Yeah, I think it happened 2 weeks later, I want to say. 2 weeks after Nikita Lyons attack. So, I don't think JC's been too concentrated on Gigi, bro. I definitely don't think it's her. She was just in a group, so I don't think they're going to put her back in another group. Unless they're revitalizing Toxic Attraction with Mandy Rose. I don't know. But I don't even think JC even wants to go back into Toxic Attraction either, if that comes back. Because I don't think she wants to be the third wheel. I don't even think she wants to be Mandy Rose's like sidekick, even if she moves up to number 2, because obviously Gigi's out turning heel again. So, I don't know. I write JC off, man. But she is tall, though. But JC is a little taller than I think the attacker is. JC might be the tallest girl on the roster. I can't confirm that. I know Nikita Lyons got some height on her, too. But, and Lash Legend, obviously, because I think Lash Legend was a basketball player like Jade Cargill was. So, I'm not sure. But let's go to number 6. I mentioned in another thread that this attacker here is quite the athlete because she took off. We talked about that with the speed. And she ran, tried to pull off of Roxanne. So we're looking for someone very athletic when it comes to the speed. She came out, attacked Roxanne like a bat out of hell. She could get caught. Something Xia Li failed to do. If you remember that. Yeah, I remember that. And see, that's another thing. Remember when Xia Li got caught on SmackDown? We thought she was the newest member of Damage Control, but she got caught. And she said she did it. I forgot the reason. She told Adam Pearce. I think she wanted to get more shots at the title or something like that. So she got into that what was it, a fatal 4-way or 6-way match or something like that, like right before Christmas. On SmackDown, she got a shot there, but she still lost it. So she did that just so she could get more opportunities. Because I think she attacked Liv Morgan, if I'm not mistaken. But Xia Li is on Raw now. Xia Li is someone that I also want to talk about with Trish Stratus. If they could add her in the group with Zoe Stark, that'd be pretty good. Man, they had something going with that though, man. I think I definitely think the WWE dropped the ball on that, man. They should have just had her join Damage Control at the time, man. But we'll see what happens with that. And the last point he made, Roxanne could be involved in all of this. Maybe this was staged. Lyra could be involved, just saying. And like I said, and I think John Drake said in another post that it's definitely probably a babyface, somebody that we least suspect. This is why Roxanne Perez is the number one babyface that I got on my suspect list, because she's the least likely to do it because of like the way her personality is. But you got to remember, Roxanne has been losing a lot of matches lately, and she might have been distracted with this whole thing. She did a fake anxiety attack. All right. And that might have been a reason why she did the anxiety attack too. Somebody had mentioned that way back in March, that they think Roxanne faked that anxiety attack for a reason. But I don't know. She was exhausted from fighting Meiko Satomura. I mean, from training with Meiko Satomura. So for that match that they had, great match by the way. I don't know, man. Like that one. See, I think Roxanne is involved. If she's involved, it's definitely got to be with Cora Jade, because them two might have secretly hooked back up, but this time they're both going. This time they're heels instead of baby faces. I wouldn't sleep on Roxanne as a suspect though. I wouldn't do it, because that'd be the perfect. So that just like with Mandy Rose, that will turn the internet sideways if it was her, because nobody would have saw that coming. Nobody would have seen that coming. Lyra Valkyria is another one. You know, but where I kind of think Lyra's not involved in it, but remember, she did attend to Roxanne. She was the one. Usually the people that found these victims, they've all been suspects. Indy Hartwell might be clear because she's on the main roster now. But remember, Lyra Valkyria, what's interesting about Lyra Valkyria, she was also there on the first one. Remember, with Nikita Lyons, it was Indy Hartwell and Lyra Valkyria who was right there. Then on this one, again, she's there at the perfect time, right? At the perfect time and place. It could be Lyra, bro. I'm telling you, Lyra is someone you better keep your eye on. Definitely keep your eye on Lyra Valkyria, bro. Her and Cora Jade might have been setting this whole feud up to throw people off. They might be working together. There's something going on, man. Like, it's just something going on in the background. Like, Lyra is a definite suspect to me, man. I don't see it being her, but I definitely think she's a suspect, though. This is one that'll throw everybody off, man. Danny Palmer. What if it's Danny Palmer, bro, and she set up her own attack at that house show? Remember, she also found Sol Ruka in the nick of time, right? I don't think she's the one that attacked Sol Ruka because she had on regular street clothes. Ain't no way she changed that quick. Like, she was literally within seconds after the attack happened, like when the hooded attacker was running away. But she could have set it up too. Now, an interesting one that I heard from the main roster point was Tegan Nox. This is a very interesting one because I don't think it's her, but she has been in NXT before. Because what's interesting about Tegan Nox is all the attacks have been concentrated on the knees. This is why some of the girls have been out, are out with injuries, right? Like long-term injuries. And what's interesting about that one to me, and I like that theory. Like, I really like that theory about that one. Like, that's a really good theory to me. Definitely not sleeping on that one, for sure. I honestly love that theory. And I'm going to tell you why I love that theory, man. I love that theory because I think... Here's the thing about that theory. Here's the thing about that theory that I like. If Tegan Nox has been angry because she has suffered a lot of those knee attacks in the past herself, that will make a lot of sense. Like, that'll make too much sense. That's an interesting one. Like I said, that's an interesting one that we definitely have to keep an eye on. Because I could definitely see that one playing out. Tegan Nox has not debuted on Raw yet since being drafted. That's interesting too. So has Xia Li. The other two suspects that we had off the Wendy Choo attacks was Katie Carter and Katana Chance. They haven't debuted on Raw either, from my knowledge. So that's interesting as well. So I still think they're suspects even though they're on the main roster. Just like I still got Isla Dawn and Alba Fire even though they're on the main roster. I still got them as suspects. The only one that I've cleared was Indy Hartwell. Because she's doing her whole thing with the weight. I don't think she's involved. I don't see it. I don't see it. Like, that don't make any sense for her to be involved. It did at the time of the Nikita Lyons, but since then, she showed so many signs that she didn't do it. So I definitely write her off. Now, let's go to, like, other main roster, because some of you guys think it's main roster connected. This is why I have been mentioning people like that, like Tegan Nox, Xia Li. But we haven't mentioned Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark yet. So y'all know on this channel, I've been mentioning, like, for a while now that somebody like a Trish Stratus, Zoe Stark, I was one of the first people to actually mention putting Zoe Stark with Trish Stratus, and they finally did it here at Night of Champions, right? I didn't go over that video, by the way, for Raw, but I'm going to make sure I put it up tomorrow when I have time. Because they had an interesting segment with Becky Lynch. But what if, the thing that me and John Drake was talking about too, what if Trish Stratus is trying to universally control every locker room. NXT, Raw, SmackDown. What if she's trying to control NXT? Because this is how she's going to make some money. Having the people who got the titles. Because right now, what's interesting is that Tiffany Stratton has the title. And she looks up to Trish. Will Trish get in her ear one day? You know, we'll see. Zoe Stark just came from NXT. And she recruited her already. I mean, it's crazy to think, but maybe Trish Stratus is setting up a big heel stable that's on all 3 shows. You never know. You never know. I think that's where this is really interesting at. I really think that's where this gets really tricky at. And I think it could be main roster connected, bro. I think somebody from the main roster could be pulling the strings. But everything is so calculated. But the only thing that I have a problem with this whole thing is that all 5 of the victims don't relate to each other. The only 2 that I can see is Nikita Lyons and Sol Ruka because they have injuries, right? Like actual real life injuries, right? So I see why they're two of the victims. But the other ones are mysterious, like Wendy Chu, Roxanne Perez. Danny Palmer's connected with Sol Ruka, so that kind of makes sense. But Wendy Chu and Roxanne Perez are just so out of place, right? With those attacks. But all of the attacks have been on baby faces. So that's the other thing. No heel has gotten attacked. You gotta remember that too. That's why this is so tricky and interesting. Man, somebody said Aaliyah too could be coming back. I like that. I like that one too. I like that one too, to be honest. Let me see. What was another good one that I saw from one of you guys? What was another good one that I saw from you guys? Damn, where did I find that one at? Because it was such a good one. Man, where was that one at? It was a real good one. Was it in this one or was it in a different one I put up? Something telling me it was somewhere else. Man, because it was a real good one. It was definitely another, like, super surprise. Let me see. Oh, I got it. Brooklyn Barlow and Amari Miller. Those, I would definitely say those are 2 interesting ones. I think that one, those 2 in the Tegan Knox ones, those are really the 2 that I see that really stand out to me because those would throw everybody off. I think Amari Miller and Brooklyn Barlow, with that being the way of them coming back to TV, I think they'll be real good suspects. Real good suspects that'll throw people off. Brooklyn Barlow definitely fits the profile of the attacker from last week too. That's the interesting thing about that one too. I like that one. I liked that one. You guys have been really smart. You guys have been doing some super thinking. I appreciate that, man. Y'all been really helping on this one, man. But I'm gonna wrap this video up because I want to make sure it's up at least by the first hour NXT. But I would just say this, man. I don't think everything's going to be revealed tonight. I think only part of it will. Maybe it's one of the henchmen. Maybe it's the mastermind. But somebody's going to reveal themselves a part of it. But I think it's more complex than whatever we hear tonight. I will definitely be doing a reaction video to it. And I'll probably do another follow-up video just like this with my thoughts. Especially if there's more clues left to figure out the whole picture of it. I'll definitely be I'll definitely be back on here and we'll talk about this, man. But shout out to everybody that's been getting involved and commenting on this. It's a very good mystery so far. Appreciate all y'all guys' thoughts. We definitely gonna talk about it later, man. Go ahead and get this video a like, share, subscribe, y'all. Thank y'all for watching this one. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna get my Battleground videos up tonight as well. So for those of y'all that's been looking for Battleground videos. But thank y'all for watching. After News to Light.